Well, as I mentioned in the first podcast, we originally I think we kind of planned on doing this all in one, but honestly, Susewitz and I got to talking a little much about the trip. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
And we had an awesome conversation, didn't we, Suge? I'm telling it was good, man.
Yeah, it was good to reflect on it, the incredible time that we had, but I'm excited for this part two.
Well, and yeah, and that's really what happened. I mean, I actually went and listened back to the first part and realized, we need to make this a two-part podcast as well. And I want to mention this up front, and I'll come back and we'll talk more about it at the end of the podcast. But we're releasing this podcast at the same time as the episodes themselves are going live on Carbon TV. So make sure, all the information you're listening to, everything about Togiak and Jordan's story and mine and Jordan Susewitz's time out there, you can actually watch that unfold and hear much more of the story on the episodes on Carbon TV. So just look for the graduates on Carbon and go search those out because they're live at the same time here. So I just wanted to preface that, but without further ado, it's like I feel like I need the drum roll. I feel like we need the Rocky music in the background. We are bringing to the podcast here the one, the only Yoder. I guess I should have said Jordan Larsen, aka Yoder, because he's Yoder to us. But Larsen, welcome, my good friend, to the podcast.
Thanks, fellas. Yeah, this is a good way for me to start my morning.
Which is, let's start with that. Like it's like 10 after 1 here. Jordan and I are actually, hang on. Oh, yeah.
You grabbed a beer.
I did. Yes.
I'm still on
Hey,
coffee.
I just finished my second round of coffee and I said, we're starting the podcast. Excuse me, fellas. Hmm.
I
So
love it.
with that being said, it's 1:10 in the afternoon here, and Larson's out in Alaska at what time? 9 a.m.
9:08. Yep.
9:08.
Yeah.
So starting your morning. Well, I appreciate you doing it, man. I know that you are in the middle of a rotation. I know you got fishermen. I know you've got responsibility, and I appreciate you taking the time, man. It means a lot to us.
No worries. This is a nice way to break up not only the day but the rotation as well. I've been looking forward to it.
Yep.
Reflecting on that trip, man. It's like at this point in the season, even though I've only been here a week since taking my little break, I need these kinds of things to kind of reground me because it's easy to get into the monotony because it's the same thing every day, and
Yeah.
I need it. It's nice to have this break, I guess.
Yep.
It keeps my spirits high.
You can tell,
Mm.
Susewitz, it's been a little while since you've been there. Look at what he's cultivating on his chin there. He's kind of, right? He's
Really
kind
getting
of
that
getting
Yoder
bushy.
beard going.
Yeah. I love it, man.
Cultivation is the best way to put it.
How you doing on the haircut? Are we good? Do you need me to
Dude,
fly
okay.
back quick?
I'm
Oh,
okay right now.
doing
I'm okay.
okay.
I told Melissa, I said, I'm going to need you.
Yes, exactly.
Goodness.
So that's another little bit of a sidebar to this story, and we won't spend much time on it. But my wife is actually out there with you, working at the lodge. She's out there for a 5 week run, and yeah, we're gonna cross paths because I'm gonna leave for elk season. She's still gonna be there, so I'm really hoping maybe we can meet up in the middle beforehand. Otherwise, it's like 2 full months, and I know you know that story, so
Oh,
it's
yeah.
I'm preaching to the choir there. But anyway, well, I really, first of all, actually, here's a question for you that I thought about this morning. I went, I don't know. Have you ever been on the podcast, on our podcast?
I have not.
Really? Like one of the OG students dating back
Yeah.
almost 10 years, and you've never been on the podcast. Well, oh my gosh, I wish I had my button on my roadcaster to go to with the applause. Like, yeah, welcome, Yoder. Everybody
Yeah.
should be excited to hear from this dude. So, I'm gonna I'll tee it up, okay? But I really want you, I want you to tell your story, Jordan, because I'm gonna be honest with you, man. It is, it truly is not one of, it's my favorite graduate story out of everyone that I've ever put through the classes that has gone on to be successful in this industry in some capacity. And it's not my favorite because you're my favorite, even though you're up there. I'm just kidding. I can't say it with Jordan Susewitz here.
I know.
Yeah.
Now, um, but what I'm getting at here, I have so many favorite stories, but yours is so unique. It's
Mhm.
so real. It's so raw. It's the utter, you know, rough and rocky road, a road that has not just one why, but multiple whys. Everybody has a plan they think going into this, and it changes. Yours is the epitome of all of that. And I think that's why it's my favorite. Not to mention, I love you to death, and you're just a great person and great human, and it couldn't happen to anybody better. Please introduce yourself. Please take our audience through your progression as best you can. I want them to understand it. I want them to grasp it, but I want them to be able to go watch the episodes as well. So leave a little bit, but please tell them about Yoder.
Absolutely. So, you know, first off, I am Yoder. Thank you. Um,
And we can get to that story, by the way,
yeah,
because I
we
think
will
it's
get to that
important.
story. But no, obviously, my name's Jordan, and it's this story is it's so crazy, and it's hard for me to find a beginning on where I want to start. And what I'll say is that it's I know roughly your demographic of folks coming through the classes, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it mine is also unique in the sense that I wasn't there necessarily to learn how to film hunts, so to speak. I mean, that was a byproduct, and it got me a job with you guys, right? And that's ultimately what I wanted to do. But fishing was really the basis um, of me coming to you guys, right? And I know at the time, especially in my first class, like that was kind of an anomaly, right? Everyone there was there filming their whitetail or turkey hunts or whatever, and um, it definitely was a different angle. And as you're seeing, it's a different style of production and editing that
Yeah.
it's hard to learn. Like it's really tough. But you laid a foundation for me to kind of for me to be able to build my own program. But more or less, anyway, let me go back to the very beginning. So over 10 years ago, pretty much exactly, I was 17 years old, coming into my senior year of high school, and I absolutely had no idea what I wanted to do once I grew up. And it was a struggle. Like I'll be completely honest with you, uh, it was a big insecurity for me, um, for a couple of reasons. One, I wanted to do something that I was passionate about, but I didn't know what that was. Not to mention, all of the high schools, at least on the west side of the states, I'll say, cram down, go to college, go to college. And I was like, man, I just I'm taking advanced classes and I'm with those people that are going to do that. But I haven't found something within education, if you will, that really is tripping my trigger that I'm super stoked about. And by not by chance, well, a little bit by chance, I suppose. My brother was a full time fishing guide at this point, and before 2017, he had met a guide on our local river that we grew up on called the Nisqually, uh, that had kind of taken him under his wing and was incredibly insistent or persistent, I should say, about getting him up to Alaska and to become a guide. And he hounded him, and he had to have his Coast Guard license to guide in Alaska on navigable waters. And it just so happened that this particular river, which was the Togiak, was also a river that we had been eyeballing as a family for 5 or 6 years at this point, since I was a little kid, that we had seen on Larry Zonka shows, etc. We knew exactly what it was, and those details aren't quite as important right now. But this particular guide had worked up here, and once Zach finally followed through and went through the class and got his license, Nick got him a job up here, and so none of it was by chance, none of it at all. Uh, and so Zach finds himself in a guide position in 2015. So that was 10 years ago exactly. This is his 10th year up here, which is incredible.
Yeah.
And so I'm I get done with school in mid June, and Zach leaves in early June, and very emotional. Like we're a tight knit family, and it was like, hey, Broski's going to be gone for 4 months all the way through. Not coming home for break or anything. It was a big deal. We're keeping in touch with him, and the fishing's crazy, and it's like it's the sort of salmon fishing that everyone who's into that like just dreams about, right? And so we're getting these reports and stuff, and we're living vicariously through him, you know. And so 2 weeks before his season ends, the owner of the lodge, Larry Lund, asks my brother, like, "Hey, who are you bringing up during our break period when there's no clients here?" And Zach's like, "Well, I'm not bringing up anyone because
Right.
none of my family can afford to come up here." He's like, "No, dummy. Like, you can bring up family if they just cover their costs for airfare, and you can bring them up for the break. There's not going to be any guests here. Kind of a fend for yourself deal, but if you want them to come up and go fish, you're welcome to do that." And so here was our opportunity to not only have a boys trip to Alaska, but to have like the trip to the system that we wanted to go to for what, airfare and some eggs to bring into the lodge, like, you know.
Yeah.
And so at this point, I had been, you know, just having fun with a OG GoPro 3, and just I had been filming a ton of our fishing trips back home, etc. Uh, I had zero experience editing. I had zero experience planning videos, which is something that I did. I wanted to have some memories to look back onto with my brother and my dad, especially on the Nisqually, which is so near and dear to our hearts. So who wouldn't have brought one on the trip, right?
Sure.
You that's a thing that you would do. So, anyways, I bring it, and I filmed everything while I was here, like absolutely everything. And I thought my goal was to come home and put it into something. I didn't know what that looked like, but it wasn't. There was no intention to ever have any sort of professional videoing experience. Just I didn't plan on it. I certainly didn't plan for that trip to lead into that. And so I'm filming and having a great time. And actually, to be honest with you, I lost a good chunk of my footage while I was up here through just an idiot mistake. But that's a whole different story. Anyways, the last day that we were here to fish, Larry invited himself to come out with us in the morning. And now, keep in mind, at 17 years old, you know, I'm looking for leaders in my life, right? Like, I want people to be impressed by, if that makes sense. And Larry, it's like, dude, this guy owns this lodge, like easily a millionaire, which is a big deal to me at the time, right? And like, he's nice enough to invite us to his lodge. And not only is he going to do that, but he's going to hop on the boat with us and fish. And now I know Larry, he's like a grandpa to me, and that's just his heart. And so looking back in hindsight, it's not that big of a deal. Like, he just wanted to come hang out with us because he liked us. And there was something that he saw in us that he really, really loved. And anyway, so he hops on the boat. I got the GoPro rolling, etc. We're fishing some nice kings, and he turns to me at one point and he's like, "Well, what would you think about coming up here to work next season?" And mind you, Zach had already asked me, I could probably get you, or he had told me, I could probably get you a job up there next summer. I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, I enjoy, like, you know, I'm 17. Like, I have my little clique of friends, and I like getting into shenanigans. And I don't know that I want to give up a whole summer, especially graduating, to come up here and work. But he leads into his next question: would you want to come back up and film, be a videographer for me, film clients, and put videos together for them so that they can ultimately take them home, share them with whoever else, and hopefully have some amount of rebookings? So a marketing strategy, so to speak, maybe archaic in design a little bit, but whatever. Like, it's, you know, it was the intention behind it. And in hindsight, and I didn't really realize this, but I hate to say it, but I also was a little bit of a charity case in the sense that I don't know. He must have seen something in me as far as a love or a passion for filming that maybe I didn't see in myself.
See yourself, right?
He wanted to foster that. So it wasn't necessarily to benefit himself. He was like, I want to help this kid out because I see that he likes doing this thing.
Sure.
And that is incredibly important. Like, and I don't want to rabbit trail too much, but we continue to try and bless people up here as much as we can outside of business. Make dreams come true. He made my dream come true. I just didn't realize that it was my dream at that point.
Yeah.
And for him to have that foresight is incredible. Yeah. So anyway, he makes me this
real quick, if I may, because I think that's important, and it's one of the things one of the key things I think is makes this so unique is because most people that come and take the classes, they already know they have that passion for it, right?
Yeah,
Like that's what
yeah,
drives them. That's what puts them there. Whereas you kind of opportunity brought you to something that you were, meant to do. It
yeah,
opportunity is what allowed you to find that passion. So I think
exactly.
it's so unique. It's so backwards, but so
It
cool.
is super
Love
backwards.
it.
And so he even offered in the same conversation to pay for all my video equipment, buy me a
Yeah.
computer, etc. And it was at that point like light bulb, dude. I was like outdoor video production, like some sort of content creation for outfitters, guides, uh, outdoor oriented businesses. Who knows? Like kind of a broad, vague idea, but an idea nonetheless that had been planted in my head. And I was like, that is exactly what I want to do. Like incredible. I can't believe it. Like such a simple moment, but like
Right.
that's what I want to do. And so he told me, go home, get some amount of education under your belt, and come back up next summer, and you can be a videographer for the entirety of the
So
season.
cool.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So at that point, um, I had talked to my mom about it, and that's when she started doing some research as far as classes, etc. Now, as soon as I got home, it was time for me to sign up for classes for my senior year, and there was a digital media class that I signed up for,
Mm.
which I got something out of it. It's like
Sure.
it was kind of a silly class,
Right.
um, but I started somewhere, right? Like
Sure.
in starting anywhere, even regardless of how useful the information or knowledge is like you
Right.
have to, right?
Right.
So my mom, very shortly after that, it would have been in early August, starts like probing around and for education classes, and it's so niche, right? Like
Yeah.
super niche.
Hmm.
And so I was already familiar with Campbell cameras, and so I had been looking on their cameras, etc. And so they must have still had some of your classes being
Yeah.
advertised, and so
They did.
she reached out to them, and so they immediately gave her your contact.
Yeah.
And then from there, she calls you and she's like, "Hey, I called this guy Tom, who's starting these classes, and man, he sure sounds like a really nice guy and super helpful. And they've got some classes coming up this next winter, blah blah blah."
It's another
And it was
favorite part of this story for me is because it's most of the time I'm hearing from the individual, but you were so young, your mom was still
yeah,
like handling that business for
yeah,
you. So I
yeah,
love that part of this story. But yeah,
yeah,
continue.
yeah. I mean, she just trying to help out as much as she could,
Sure, yeah,
and found you. And
which is
so
awesome.
I don't know at what point we decided that they were going to sign me up for the class.
Wasn't
I
wrong.
honestly, no, I don't think so. Um, but so I got home, and I ran a small landscaping business when I was in high school. So that's how I made my money. So I got home, and I did buy a new Canon video camera, and down the road bought a mic for it, uh, and then I started my media class. And like I said, it was cool waltzing into that. Like, what's up? Got this Canon Vixia. What are you shooting with?
I love
That's amazing.
it. Just
Yeah,
all confident as hell. Like, yes.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
Got a shotgun mic. It's online. It's not on mic. It's online, and the
It's
audio is terrible. What do you got?
what are you
You know?
shooting on? Yeah.
Yeah. So, um, so I start this class, and dude, the fire in me, insane. Like I'm so stoked, and so any opportunity I had to go film adventures, like we would float the Nisqually on the weekends and go shoot ducks, etc. And so I just found any opportunity I could to start filming, start editing, and try and get familiar with Premiere. Now, I didn't have a computer at this point. I didn't get a laptop until January of 16. So I'm trying to do editing on school computers with like 4 gigs of RAM, and it's just
Right.
like impossible. I mean, it really, I couldn't, it was, uh, it just was difficult to complete projects. And I would go in at lunch or stay after school and try and work on my own personal stuff because that's the resource that I had.
Sure.
So anyway, get through that class, and again, like I did learn some stuff in there. It was fun, and I would love to find some of those videos if I could somewhere in the hard drives, you know. But anyway, we roll into January, and again, I cannot express my appreciation for my parents in supporting me with this, not only the idea but financially as well, because they did get me my laptop and they did pay for the class, which was huge. That was my graduation present, and
Sure.
so we get all signed up. I get my laptop in January. Like I'm ready to go, you know, and I'm nervous because I've never traveled by myself. I'm 17. You know, I turned 18 shortly after that first editing class with you guys, you know.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we're rolling into early March, and I'm trying to plan content to bring with me to do the editing class. And so we shoot 2 days down on the Cowlitz River, fishing for winter steelhead with my brother and my best friend Gage. And I skipped 2 days of school to do it. I was like, I don't care. Like,
Just a rebel.
Yeah,
Just a rebel.
I want to have what I need. You
Yeah.
know, in the money for class, I got money and cameras and stuff. I'm like, I want to do this. If I'm going to show up, I don't want to show up with nothing to edit, or no offense to you guys, but just placeholder videos. I don't want to do that.
Right.
It's at least at some point in the class, I want to get around to my own thing. Of course, you do have placeholder videos, and those go a long ways, like huge. It's incredibly necessary, but I wanted to have what I needed, and I did. And so I remember taking off, and my flights out to Ohio were a little crazy. Had a tight connection in Chicago that I almost missed. Like again, O'Hare is a huge airport, and I've never traveled by myself. And I got like
little Yoder.
15 minutes for boarding. I'm running through the airport. On the plane, bead to sweat rolling down my face. I make it. And anyway, get to Ohio. Tom, I'm pretty sure your sister picked me up, if I'm not mistaken.
Probably. It was either my sister or my dad. So yeah, probably my sister. Yeah.
She picks me up and gets me to the hotel. And I don't remember if I met you. Oh no, we went right to Jurassic that night.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, checked in. Yeah.
I just like walking through those doors for the first time. Was like, here they are. It's my people. It's so cool. No, I'm not even kidding. Like, it was just like this is insane. Like, just walking through the door into the room worth the cost of entry. You know what I mean? And
awesome.
So anyway, you know, we do the 4-day editing class, and it was essential to what I needed. Like, and it just everything that you taught us in that 4 days just clicked, and it just like it turned me into a madman as far as like ideas for at home for Alaska, you know, as I'm planning for this summer. And it just absolutely incredible. And I think within the first 2 days, I had a pretty good foundation as far as like setting up a timeline and how I would most importantly organize my footage, which was huge, especially when we're filming every single day up here.
Right.
It's just like this is so cool. And it's you know, I'm not particularly great at a lot of things, but I found myself understanding the editing and production process. And to be honest with you, like I hadn't been through a production class at that point, of course, obviously, but I almost feel like starting with the editing class sets you up to be a better producer.
Yeah,
right.
I couldn't.
Because if you're setting up a timeline and you're looking at a story, starting with that and understanding likely how it's going to go together, at least for me, was like, okay, well, I'm glad I did this first. I'm glad I did this first instead of the production class. Yeah. But my point being, you know, I get through the class, meet some amazing people, awesome networking, which for me was a big deal. Like I had a huge mentor in my life, was one of my cross country coaches all the way through high school. And he told me all the time, like, dude, it's all about who you know. Like, I mean, seriously, like, network, take advantage of meeting people and be friends with everyone, like never burn a bridge, etc. And I knew that would go a long ways, you know, with the people that I met there, with you and Nick, you know, and we hit it off pretty well. Not that you're not friendly to everyone, you totally are, but it just like instantly, like, had a connection, you know. And I have that ability with people, and it is a good trait of mine. I
Yeah.
like to make friends with folks, and
Sure.
because I think partially because of how unique my situation was, that probably did stand out to you guys,
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Um,
no doubt.
but anyway, from there, finish the class, go home, continue filming silly projects at home and fishing and hanging out with my buddies, etc. I got a Canon 70D right as I was getting ready
Nice.
to graduate. I wanted to have something to take good photos with.
Sure.
And then I graduate June 13th. I leave 3 days later for Alaska.
Mm.
And, the rest is kind of history. Now, what I'll add on that to kind of conclude the first part of that story is that God bless Larry, but he did not have any sort of job description or outline for me. So I'm coming in blind, and not only have I never videoed people on boats or anything, but I don't know what he wants, to be honest with you. And
Right.
that goes back to the charity side of things. Like, he wanted me to improve, and he didn't necessarily have a plan. And I guess he just figured I would improvise and
Sure.
figure it out. Now, one thing he consistently told me, because I would hound him, like, dude, what's the plan? What do you want me to do? When am I going to be on the boats? How long? How long do I get to edit, etc.? And he would tell me,
Mm-hmm.
they don't need to be professional. I want them to just be long and easy, and you just need to give them the footage. I'm like,
Right.
nope,
Nope, not good enough for me.
I'm not
Yeah.
not doing that. I might have a real small window of time to get these projects cranked out for them, but it is going to absolutely be the best quality that I can possibly make it, with the coolest
Mm-hmm.
shots, any of them as possible, because they deserve it. Like,
Yeah.
it's not, and maybe it's a little prideful, but like, these people are paying a lot of money to be here, and if we're going to offer the service, it better be damn good,
Sure.
as good as we
Mm-hmm.
can.
And
I want,
did he know that you went and took the class or
yeah,
classes? Okay. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah. I
yeah. I
figured.
told him that I did. I didn't want him to buy my own equipment because a
Sure.
couple reasons. Not that I thought that he would hold it over my
Yeah,
head, but
no,
I
I get it.
didn't want it held over my head. Plus, two, I wanted exactly what I needed.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And the
Yep.
combo that I had, honestly, for starting out was awesome.
Yes. Yeah, it
Just
really is.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was great.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome,
yeah,
man.
hop
What
into yeah. Go ahead.
well, I want you to, yeah, obviously, because again, yeah, I love how you said that, ending that first part of the story. And that again, I know I say it in the episode, and that I'm working on those episodes as we speak, getting ready to wrap them up uh, as we're recording this. But my point is like I remember, um, you know, at this point, you or and this is another thing that's slightly different than most students. You had already had that job. You knew, okay, I've got this opportunity. I found a passion in it. Like I like it. I love it. Now I need to get my ass like ready for this upcoming season because at that point now you're probably like, well, if I'm not mistaken, right? You're like you left class and went straight to Alaska, didn't you?
I did 1 year, but not that one. So I
Okay,
left
not
it.
that one.
No, left in March, and then I had 2 months left of school, and then I went.
Okay. See,
Yeah,
because I'm forgetting uh yeah, when did we do the classes back then? When did you
uh,
come to that class?
March, like
Yeah, see,
second
I
through this.
forgot because we've done them in July for so many years now. I forgot
Yeah,
about that because that's why
you
in my
were
mind I'm
running.
thinking, yeah,
You were running two of them that year. You ran two editing classes.
okay.
Anyways,
Anyway,
besides,
yeah. Well, super cool. Okay, so now you're up there. You're going to Alaska, and you're going to put to use everything you've learned.
yeah,
Was that
yeah.
a
So,
not was that a nerve-wracking thing for you? Were you no,
like,
right?
knots in stomach. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
with
Oh yeah,
excitement,
it
but
was then.
I just want to make people happy, and I don't want them to
Right.
leave without having their videos. Like, I want to follow through with my commitments, and I
Sure.
want them to be the best that they can be.
Yeah.
I had downloaded a fair amount of royalty-free music beforehand, before I got up there, knowing that the internet would be probably terrible. Um, like, I tried to set myself up for success. But anyway, um, first group comes in. I had like 5 days of startup, which was kind of BS work and not
Yeah.
really. Well, and break out a camera until like the night before they got there. And so my first two groups that I filmed a auction trip that had been given to Saniam Christian School. So it was an auction trip for
That's
husband
neat.
and wife and their son. I got to do my first day filming with my brother. Got some awesome shots. And then the second day filming was with um, the C. Oh, sorry, no. was with two dudes that worked for Benchmade Knives.
Nice.
Pretty high up, like CMO, like chief marketing guy,
Yeah.
and son of the owner. And then the third day, I got to film with the president and the VP of Benchmade. And so, like, instantly, I'm like, this is so crazy. These are the kinds of people that, for my own personal business that I'm now thinking about, I want to make connections with, because
Sure.
at some
Great
point,
content.
freelance for content for them, whatever else. It's just a good connection to have. They're a pretty big
Absolutely.
company, you know.
Yeah.
And those are the folks that I really wanted to try and keep in touch with.
Yeah.
And so, to just fast forward, the videos started out pretty rough, but as I progressed into the season, editing and filming every single day, like, I would say it's probably borderline impossible for someone not in a situation like this, like at your own leisure at home, to be able to give yourself the amount of time to edit and shoot every
Sure.
day. It's hard.
Well,
We all have.
especially because like you're saying, like he wasn't giving you a shot list or a hey, deliver me a 2 minute of this group. Like he was just willy nilly about it, and you had to kind of do that too. So, walk me through that a little bit. So, because we talk about that all the time in the classes. It's like you got to go into these things with a plan. You've got to go in
Yeah.
at least to as much as you can in a shot list. So, how did you then formulate something like that for yourself? Because
Yep.
you're pretty green at all this, so you just kind
Yeah.
of make it as you went along, right?
Super. So I knew that I wanted to run an intro that more or less would be like a highlight reel for the lodge, and
Yeah,
it would have a
traditionally
bunch.
good.
Yeah, it would have a bunch of stock video of,
Yeah.
lodge related things, but then I could replace a handful of clips with whoever I was filming, just to make it
Sure.
personal to them.
Yep.
So I had my intro, and then I knew, if I could, that a hook set, for the sake of a music drop, is epic, right?
Sure.
And so
Sure.
that was my goal in each video. Intro, couple of awesome hook sets, couple of crazy music drops, and then whatever else I could find. Honestly,
Sure.
most of the time they would just end up being highlight reels of
Yeah.
half a day of fishing. But
That's
I tried
editing
doing
fishing, though. As
yeah,
I'm finding out. Like that's
yeah,
just
yeah. What more can, like, you can't throw
just
in
cast and yeah.
a 20-minute fighting sequence.
Maybe
It's
he's
just
gonna
like,
catch one or that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he's fighting it. He's
Yeah.
still fighting it.
Oh, he lost it.
Still fin-
Next cast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fun. Okay. So eventually I narrowed it down to hook set, handful of seconds of a fighting sequence, maybe a jump or a roll, right?
Sure.
Net job, high fives, on to the next one.
See, I think that what you're saying right here for the listeners is like so important, because this is so additional to the story and what we're talking about here. God bless you, Jordan. This is
Sorry, boys.
No, you're good. It's so important for people, maybe someone that's never filmed fishing before, because I think what you just said, if you're listening to this, rewind it, go back, grab a pen and paper, grab your phone and make those notes, because I think what you just said, and Jordan, you've edited some fishing stuff. Those handful of things you just mentioned are pretty much could be in every single good fishing film you ever watch, like those 5 or 6 points.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so that was awesome. It was really cool that you said that. So good work, not knowing what the hell you're doing.
Well, yeah, I just, and I'll be honest with you, like, filming a couple days down on the Cowlitz, getting ready for your guys' class, super helpful.
Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
I had GoPro set up, and so when I got there, I was like, okay, I need a couple secondary cameras, because you and I both know getting the hook set, which is super important, is hard to catch for a number of reasons. Like, you could be filming for an hour straight,
God, I know.
and then as soon as you turn the camera off, hook set. So you got to have something rolling. Like action cams are an absolute lifesaver in a boat. A little more difficult, like spay fishing, for in our instance, or fishing off a gravel bar. Although you can run them on your chest, and that's an awesome point of view. And again, like, something secondary is better than nothing, of course.
That's right.
But I had a little bit of a foundation just from poking around at home, which was good, and I wanted to be somewhat prepared. But anyways, as I rolled into the season, I got it down to a science, man. And I had a handful of songs that I would use. Like I said, pretty difficult to get new ones, although I figured I had my ways.
Sure.
But at a certain point, I had the template, and so that worked. The clients loved it. It didn't cost them anything. So it's like, how could they be disappointed
Right.
with whatever I gave them? Which I think was part of Larry's point, but I wanted it to be good because my name would be on it. And some of these guys, like the Benchmade guys, if they took that home and later down the road needed a cameraman, they would remember me, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's multifaceted. Anyway, so
spent extra time on theirs, didn't you?
of course,
Just hoping you get that free knife.
I did.
Nice, nice.
I played the angles. Like I knew, and I'd do a little recon, figure out who it was that I was filming with, what do they do for a living, etc. And then 100%, and that helped me. Like I'll give you another for instance, and then move on with the story. But I got a guy who's still coming. He's been coming since 2009, and he goes to Saskatchewan. I believe it's Saskatchewan every year. In Alberta for waterfowl hunts every single year religiously, like first week of September. And so that year, he's like, hey, like I want to get into filming my own hunts. Would you be willing to edit them for me? Bam. There we go. Right.
Yeah.
And so I edited his waterfowl hunts for like 5 years straight. You know, right. My last year doing it was 2019 before we bought the lodge. In fact, I may have even done it in 20.
That's crazy.
The elk hunt that I filmed in Eastern Oregon, a guy fishing with my brother, runs a big construction company down in Salem, Oregon. And same deal. Like, hey, do you want to come film a hunt for me this September? Like that's who I was looking for.
Yeah, sure.
You know, the wheels turning for my own thing. So maybe I could go home after Alaska and roll into something else, you know?
Yeah.
Anyways, so that season was unbelievably rewarding for me. A ton of work, you know, some days finalizing some of the edits and then burning them to DVDs, like 13-hour days, 14-hour days, like long ones, real long ones. And Larry was a little peeved with me for the sake of hours, but hey, look, man, they're good. You know what? They're good. And
what you're paying me to do.
And little did he know that impression was also being made on guests who later would become my own.
Absolutely. Literally no one know. That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah.
So that made his transition easier. But go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, because I think I'm a year off and I just want clarification on it. So this is the year before. What is the year that you came out and took the classes and then you had to go right to Alaska or vice versa?
I'll speed up to that. So 2018, I took 2017, I flew back out and I took an advanced editing class with you. That's when I met Jordan for the first time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
We were doing your predator hunts and whatnot. I remember you editing those at the class, but we took advanced editing. It was primarily with Nick. And, so then filmed that season. 18, I did not come back for any classes. That's when I moved into management with the lodge, which
was too good for us at that time, Jordan.
No,
I'm just kidding.
It worked out, but managing was not my first choice, and I didn't know that I was getting roped into that. And I just bought a new A7.
But see here, once again, I think Larry was seeing something in you that you didn't see in yourself yet.
He did,
and I think we all know. Yeah.
But anyway, but 18, summer of 18 was rough for me because I didn't film at all. And I was really bummed. Like my heart hurt, dude. Like that's what I wanted to do. And so he wanted to know if I wanted to come back in 19. And I told him, like, I don't know if I can handle another season like that. I want the lodge to be the medium for me to continue progressing in my
production
skill or career, however you want to look at it. And I need it to be that. Like, so I'm willing to help you, but I have to come up with some sort of schedule for myself to be able to benefit from production. It's important to me, or else I just won't do it, you know? And so 19 is when you guys, originally how this started is Nick messaged me about an internship potentially, and I was very interested. Obviously, I couldn't move to Ohio, although if I was single, I probably would have.
Right.
But that led into you just kind of honestly randomly having a conversation with me about potentially filming an elk hunt in September with you guys. And dude, come on. I wasn't thinking about buying the lodge at that point. I was like, absolutely.
Right.
Is the answer to that question. And I'm tickled pink that you would have considered me. And I hadn't talked to you in a year or so. So it was pretty special that you had remembered me and thought good enough of me to be able to potentially bring me on an elk hunt. And so that is the season where I came out in April for your 4-day turkey hunt. And
Yeah, I forgot we worked on that together, didn't we?
Which
yeah,
one
we
was
did.
that?
We did as a hunt, learn, compete.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You were there
Yeah,
for that.
Yeah.
yeah,
Up there at Ray's place.
Up
yeah.
there at the place.
Wow.
You guys were a little flustered with me because the FS7 was having its focus issues.
Oh,
And
yeah. I remember
I
that.
remember that now.
I
Yeah,
promise you,
It's like it was a bum sensor. Something was wrong with the
yeah,
yeah.
sensor in the end.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, it's peaking. I promise. And I felt
Yeah.
so bad, dude. I was like, these guys are so great. I'm like,
They're never gonna have me again.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So that was cool. That was amazing. That was my first interaction with turkey hunting, which honestly I thought was kind of silly beforehand because I'd never done it.
Yeah.
Uh, and so that was April. I went home, and then I came back like I want to say June 1st through the 4th, roughly.
For field production.
Yep. So field production, came back home for 1 day exactly, and then left for Alaska on June 5th. June 6th is when I left.
So at this point, you're are there any hard signs of what's to come ultimately? Were you feeling any of it in your gut? Where do you stand as far as that goes at this point? And what I'm alluding to is the offer of you guys buying the lodge. Was at that point any of it? Has anything been spoken, or is it still
Um,
just, you're not sure
yeah,
what's going on here?
no. So I mean, how do I say this? So the lodge had been for sale. Larry actually had a relatively interested prospect buyer
Yeah,
that spring, that winter. We had talked to him about it at the Sportsman show because we always went down there and helped him at the shows.
sure.
Um, and like it was pretty legit, but the dude was kind of jacking him around on like final price would be based off sales, and Larry wasn't a super motivated seller, but he really wanted us to be involved because we were already, and he had
Sure.
told us like, whoever buys it, I'm gonna make sure they know that you're the dudes. And but he really wanted us to. In fact, we drove down to his house as a family and talked to him about how much he wanted for it, etc. And it's just like there's no way for us to there was just no way for my family to handle that. And to be
Sure.
honest with you, as a family, I'm glad we did not buy it. I'm glad it's
Sure.
just my brother and I. It keeps
Sure.
boundaries healthier.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I wanted to bad, dude, deep in my gut. I was like, gosh, I could do this. Larry had entertained the idea of hiring on a full-time manager, and he had suggested a different lodge owner in the region. I'm like, that hurts a bit, But I get it. I'm
Yeah.
young, I'm barely 20,
I was going to
21,
ask. Okay, so about 20 at this
21 and
point.
19.
Okay. All
Uh,
right.
so anyway, yeah, I had no idea that would have unraveled in 19 the way that it did.
Sure.
So I come up, help a startup a bit, but I wrote my job description like I told him I would, and so I was trying to shoot. I was trying to get on the boat maybe once a rotation, but at any rate, go and shoot photos when the boys would come in to clean fish. And
Sure.
after the production course, and then filming the turkey hunt with you guys, like I really wanted to just hone in on a handful of brands that we use up here. We're not sponsored by anyone, nor at the time did we have any partnerships, so to speak. But I was like, I want to pick a couple brands and intentionally shoot product photos for them just to prepare. Like, and if I'm not mistaken, we would have at least maybe even had a rough shot list or an idea of your guys' format for the trip in September, and I had that with me, and so I wanted to have a little bit of due diligence in shooting like I was shooting for a sponsor.
Sure.
So I made that my goal, and it was fun. It was great. I got to shoot every lunch, maybe shoot a little bit of video, maybe some time lapses, etc. All the while managing and doing Larry's job. And it was that summer. So our two most amazing, most favorite guests in the world, Ben and Suzanne, they came up during our king season, and they always fished with my brother. Their first year was his first year. That's who they got matched up with in 15, thanks to Larry. And they requested him every year. That's who they fished with. They came twice. And so they fished with him. And Zach was telling him about the lodge sale kind of falling through. And Ben makes the comment, well, I just sold another commercial property and I'm looking to reinvest. maybe we could potentially make this happen for you guys. And um, to be honest with you, that comment had been made a handful of times from various people, but it's something that we just kind of took with a grain of salt. But Ben was deadly serious, let me tell you, deadly serious. And he just had the honest conversation with my brother. I wasn't involved initially. Do you think that the both of you could run this place? And Zach was like, well, to be honest with you,
Kind of
kind of
are.
are, kind of already,
Right.
and that's why they asked. That's why they asked, because I had already made a list of things that I wanted to improve on from Larry's point of view, as far as communication, whatever, marketing, whatever it was, and the guests liked it. The simple things. And so they saw that initiative. They saw that I was passionate about it. Saw that Zach was passionate about the gear management and guide, resources, etc. That he assisted Larry with. And so that's when
So amazing.
that's when it started. That's when the idea was presented. And so they came back up um, during silver season. I had already left. I left August 28th to come film with you guys for the elk hunt. So I left at 28th of August. I was home for 5 days, and then I got on a plane to Ohio ultimately to come help you guys pack up the rest of the stuff and then dip out to Montana. So they had that conversation without me the second go around. It's all they talked about. I don't know if they had requested financials at that point, but once I got home and it was late October, I gave myself about a week to chill out after being gone for 5 months, which was the longest stretch I'd been gone. And at that point, we got on a phone call, went over the financials. They told us what they were willing to offer. They flew up to Portland in December, made an offer, which was rejected. And then 2 weeks later, they countered, and crickets. Like, what's going on?
Yeah,
I had that winter, I had booked my very first like legit filming gigs, like really, really good ones where I was making very good money. And so, we're entertaining this buy the lodge deal, and I'm also growing my business, and it's taking off very well. Like I got several months. I have several months worth of work, and God, it felt so rewarding. You know what I mean? Like I had a bunch of networking groups and Olympia. Like I'm really trying to do it, fellas. Like I really was, and not necessarily outdoor related, but I didn't care. I just knew I wanted to be filming something. I wanted to tell stories for people, and I didn't mind doing non-outdoor related things. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Anyways, but we're at this and I'll call it a terrible crossroads, because it was just like, which way is this going to go? And so finally, January 7th of 2020, I reach out to Larry via text, and I'm like, hey, dude, like, Suzanne made a counter offer. What's going on? Like,
Be nice to know.
Yeah. And he replies, he's like, well, I'm just being my usual procrastinating self. And I'm like, well, self, we need an answer like today, because a lot of decisions need to be made, not only for the lodge, if that's what we're doing, but
for everybody, everything. Yeah, the whole deal. Yeah.
A lot
not
riding.
Buying a car.
No. Life changing.
Yeah.
He replies, and he's like, well, I guess the answer is yes. And I was like, so yes, like I need a firm yes from you so we can move forward on this. Yes.
Wow.
All right, let's saddle up. I don't know what happens now, but
well, yeah, right. But
I know what happens now. But he said yes.
Yeah, he said yes. Cool. Okay, write a check. Let's do this. I have
the Togiak ring, and I'm down on one knee, like, Larry Lund, will you sell this lodge to me? Here's your ring.
Yeah. Man,
so wild.
It really is. It's so cool, and it's fun hearing you tell that story again, because I've been watching so much content that we shot out there in the interviews from when Jordan and I were out there, and it's just I don't think I could hear the story enough. I started this by saying it's my favorite student story, my favorite graduate story, and I hope as a listener you can tell why. And I really don't want to give much else away. I think there's a lot more depth to it. Well, I know there's a lot more depth to it, but it's something that I think the viewers can watch in that episode and see. There's more depth. There's things that we can hear from your brother. There's the emotional part of that crossroads that you went through personally.
Oh,
wanting to produce, but
yeah,
um, and I think what's really fun, and not to tell your side of this, Larson, but like I think if you were to fast forward all the way to today, and I can speak for this because I was just watching footage from the episodes we filmed, but like you're now able to kind of do both.
yeah,
Maybe not as much as you'd want to. And I know that you're not out producing. I know.
yeah,
Like I watched you we've got footage of you with a camera in your hand, and I could tell you were just loving it.
yeah. It honestly, it's hard for me to even talk about, to
Yeah.
be honest with you,
Yeah.
because like, um, there was a big mourning period having to essentially like give up my dream,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's
Well,
I'll get back there. I'll get back
well,
to it one day.
okay, and yeah, and I kind of that's where I think that's my happiness for you is in that you didn't give it up. You
No,
didn't.
it's just different.
Well, it's different, but I guess one of my point is that you were at a Y in the road and you did what you knew
Yeah,
was right
yeah,
all the way around. Because
yeah,
I think a lot of times someone hanging on to something too hard sometimes, as opposed to letting life,
yeah,
give you the
for
cards in the
sure.
moment. I think it can actually ruin people at some times. If
Yeah,
we were to look at you taking that other road at that time, who knows?
yeah. It's super hard to say. It
It
is.
is. It is. So, well, I guess what you're saying is you really want to go out west with us again and film with me and
I would
Jordan.
love to do that. Yeah, really would.
You'll have to have somebody up there for September season some year, and we'll steal you. We'll steal you for even of a week, in the
Dude,
mountains.
I've told you this before, but even just going to another production or editing class, just for my brain, dude, because
Yeah.
I need to be able to look forward and plan those things. And I'll be honest with you guys, I've never been able to plan a film up here all the way through, and I want to so badly, but I've
Dude,
never.
George Suze, how much would he enjoy that now current intermediate editing class?
Oh, 100%.
He would
Yeah.
love it, dude.
Yeah,
He
he
would
would.
love it. It's so different, Larson, than anything you've taken with us. There's so much added to it. You'd gain not only knowledge, but you just would have. And not to mention what it would do for what want to produce for the lodge and all these other things. You at some point, that's mid-July, and I know that's a tough one, but it's mid-July. You should try and do your best to make it work. Or we just have some fun with you and do a one-on-one or, a three-on-three. Uh,
We could just come out to Alaska again and teach you.
I guess we got to do that. So
Yeah,
2 days of class and three of fishing.
Yeah.
But well, man, you know, again, dude, like without giving much more away in the details of that story, when I look at you, I see a dude that was basically a kid that didn't know his direction, found a direction based on opportunity, some of which was to the blessings of your brother
yeah,
and
for
what
sure.
his connections and him being a guide out there, to you living out a dream of being at the Togiak River Lodge, somewhere you and your family dreamed of as a kid, to present day owner of the place, and not to mention do an amazing job. And I know Jordan and I talked
Hmm.
about this in the first podcast, the part one, about just how you guys, what you provide your clients. So let's fast forward now. Let's talk about that a little bit. What what would you say is your favorite part now of being a lodge owner at Togiak? What's the highlight for you when somebody asks you, man, like, what just stands out above it all?
Well, I'm a people pleaser, and so like making dreams come true for people is that's a big deal for me and Zach too.
Yeah.
That's what
Mm.
it's about. Again, that's what grounds us from time to time when we are caught up in the business running and the issues and the people management, right? Like that's when we get that perspective from someone who's like, this was a dream come true for me. Like I'll never do this again, but like you guys did it. It was the best trip I could have asked for. All those things. Like that's my favorite part of it.
Yeah.
Um, it's seeing all the friends that we've made, that are our customers over the last 10 years, being able to show them new things. I've had dudes that are coming here since I was 10 years old. You know what I mean? And it's our goal every year to do something a little bit different for them, because they've been coming for so long. So it's maintaining those relationships. They've become family. For instance, my brother just went home on the 15th, and I told him to come back on the 28th, or even the 2nd of September. And he's like, you know what, though? We got a couple rotations with people I only get to see once a year, and I don't want to miss that.
Yeah.
That's our favorite part.
That-
It's the fishing side of things is pretty minimal. I get to share some pretty cool experiences with family and friends like yourself, and that's super special. That's more on the rare side of things. I don't get a bunch of time to go and do that stuff, but I would say that the most beneficial thing for me, is just being able to show people a really, really cool wild place. Our slogan is, "This is the wilderness experience you're looking for," and we hammer down on that. Like that's what it has to be about. But for anyone going to anywhere in Alaska that's spending the money, it's expensive. Any way you slice going to Alaska, it's expensive. And so if they're going to spend the money to come here, it better be the best damn trip that they can get for the money that they're spending. And it's way more than just taking fish home. It's way more than just putting fish in a fish box. Like, it's a well-rounded deal. And that's continuing to craft that. That is what is so beneficial and rewarding for us at this point.
Well, dude, and it shines so bright in your whole operation, from the people to the place to the experiences to all of it. I mean, I know you've branched out and you do a lot of different things to do that, right? Like, trips to different parts of the river and different parts of the bay so that people can see, maybe it be grizzly bears, or, you're taking runs out to that Round Island for
Yeah,
camping
the
out there. You're
walrus.
just doing so many things for the walruses. Yeah. And we don't need to get into any of that. I just think what I'm getting at is, like, I knew your answer was going to be the people and what you're able to provide to them, because I know you and I know well enough. In fact, hell, like, this is how the trip that Jordan and I just took out there, that's how it all came about, is because uh a little over a year ago, when Melissa and I were going through some things, and I don't know if you just sensed that or how the hell that even came about, but you kind of you did some things for us, as a family, that meant a lot. Um, and I did this when I did my damn interview, but so I could tell you were, that you did that out of the kindness of your heart, and gosh, the time that we had out there, my wife and my daughter, and was unreal. And you and I got to talking as we were there, just enjoying the wild that is Alaska, and our time together and all that. You're like, man, you got to come back and we got to do a show. Like, let's do a show. Or maybe I said it first. I don't even remember. Hell, it doesn't even matter. And that's what led to me talking to Susewitz. Like, if anybody's going with me on this trip, dude, it's you. Like, we got this
Absolutely.
opportunity. And it's because, we spent that time together in Montana years ago. Like, you said you first met Jordan in the classes in 2017. Like, there's so much history we had when it came down to us producing this content here this year. It was a no-brainer. I was taking uh so let's dive into that, and let's make that the final leg of this podcast. I'd love to hear, I mean, all of our perspectives on that. Of course, Jordan and I, Susewitz and I, mostly have given ours, but fast forward us to that day. Like, I know it meant a lot to you, but tell the viewers, like, your perspective on, here's two of my buddies coming out, we're going to shoot content, because I know it was layered for you. You had specific wants and needs for you and what the lodge and what you want to produce. I'm producing an episode, and so yeah, take us through what were your thoughts on Booby Shot?
I'm so sorry. Can I pause real quick?
Yeah,
I saw smoke coming out of the back, so I need to go check on this real quick.
there's what coming out of the back?
I just saw smoke rolling out the back of the lodge. I need to
Go,
go check this.
go. Smoke isn't good. Chef Chris back there just Melissa's out there with Rick just hitting a bowl or something.
She having a good time?
Yeah, she is. She is.
Cool.
She
That's
really
super
is.
cool.
She said, it's easy in that she too, as much as she says she doesn't like people, she loves people. She gets
Oh
along
yeah.
so easy, and
Yeah.
she loves joking, especially with outdoorsmen, fishermen. It's like she can, and
Yeah.
she's serving food and making beds, so it's exactly what she's used to doing. So
Yeah. Yeah,
she's
it's
like,
cool.
the work's easy, and she absolutely just, she's enjoying it. I mean, she'll work for like 5 hours and get to go back to the room and chill or take a nap or get work done on their computer, and then go
Hmm.
back to work in the evening. So it's kind of a neat schedule too. It's not like you're grinding it for 12 hours in one clip. It's 10 to 12 hours separated. So everything
Yeah.
all
Sorry.
right?
I think it's just yeah. I think it's just the barbecue. It's just abnormal for me to see smoke out my window. So
Yeah, you're good, man.
sorry about that.
No, you're good. So yeah, getting back to just your perspectives on us coming out there and that opportunity, what it meant for you, and then just
Yeah.
give us the elevator speech of what that all meant to you.
Well, elevators are tough, but
All right,
unless we're going
airplane ride.
yeah, unless we're going up to the 50th floor. But anyways, well, I'll be honest with you guys. I was so incredibly excited to have you, but under the conditions that you arrived on day one, and I'm sure you can see that maybe in some of the footage that you took getting off of the plane,
Yeah,
I wasn't able to enjoy that moment as much as I wanted to with the whole boat situation on Summit Island and my brother looking for Josh out in the bay, etc. Like that's a whole nother side deal. And
right.
my mind was in a lot of kind of in a bad place, to be honest with you, when you
Yeah.
guys showed up, just worrying about those folks getting back to the village, etc. Which it all worked out. They were safe. It was
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
It's like I told you this when you got to the main lodge. You two. Well, my wife and Stevie get off the plane, right? And so I have those two come off, and that was incredible. But then I have you two come off too. I'm like, I kind of feel like I'm cheating on my wife this rotation because I love you guys so much. You know what I mean? And that was her time to come. We had 5 days that first week of July, so
Yeah,
and she knew that our project obviously was the priority, so all good. But yeah, just so many emotions, like the
yeah.
best. My heart was full. It was
Mm.
overloaded, you know.
Right. Yeah,
Um, but
yeah.
yeah, to have you guys there in a work capacity, so to speak, or like in a
Sure.
situation where we're gonna go fish and film and plan something, I was like, this is crazy. How could this
Hmm.
ever have come true? It's just so awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't really have much more to say besides like
yeah.
it
No,
was incredible. Like I just could never imagine it happening.
I, you know, and for me, I know, and I'm sure Jordan, you could add to this too, Susewitz, but like for me, it was bittersweet too, because it's like, all right, so I had been up there last year with Melissa and Briella, so I knew what to expect. So I was so pumped for Susewitz to experience it, number one. But I also know Susewitz and I know how we can get, and I know with you there too. I'm like, okay, we got to remember that we're also there to do a job. Because like I can see Susewitz, like just you get carried away and go, shit, we didn't film any of that. Like,
Yeah,
so
Hmm.
I had this dual, like, little guy in this shoulder and little guy in this shoulder going, this is amazing. Just have a great time. This guy going, remember, you're working, you got to get shit done.
yeah,
And
100%.
yeah, but with that said, my perspective of the whole thing, and now looking back, because I'm editing the episodes, it's like we nailed it. We did do an amazing job. We got more than needed, obviously. And it's coming together so good. As I mentioned earlier in the thing, it's going to end up being two episodes instead of one long one, which I love the idea of. And that was Susewitz's idea, pretty much. Him and Melissa's. Melissa, I got to give her credit too. She said that. But just really excited for you to see it come together. And I could be critical of this, Susewitz, and I'm going to ask you to add to this. I swear I won't say too much, and I want you to add to this because me and you had a conversation just a couple nights ago. Heck, we talked for like an hour,
Hmm.
like 10 o'clock at night, because I'm saying this is one of the more difficult edits I've done in a while because I don't want to cheat the story, but I also can't tell the whole story because it would be a 2 hour movie. And hey, maybe that is something we all need to entertain at some point, is like some big long feature film. So I've struggled with that and what to cut, what not to cut. How do I tell the story? Do it justice. Do the Larsen family justice. Do Togiak justice. And I know that's what your suggestion came out of, make it two episodes, but from a content creator standpoint, Jordan, even help emphasize on that. I mean, how could you not just keep shooting?
Well, that's when you're in, to touch on what Jordan said, in a place like Togiak that is so wild, that hasn't been influenced by man at a very bare minimal, and to show that you want people to feel what we felt, right? And it's hard for them to feel that because they're watching it. But I felt like just the time that we spent, the conditions we endured, the fish we caught, the fellowship on the boat, meeting the people at the lodge, like you're taking all different walks of life and getting off the boat at the same time, and it's like you all just became best friends. Like,
Yeah.
I know we mentioned this, Jordan, but like that group of people that were there that week, it was amazing. Like everyone, and I think it's just that spirit of the Togiak, right? Everyone is just there and engulfed in there for, many different reasons, but that spirit of the Togiak just overwhelms you. And it was an incredible trip. I'm very thankful and very honored to not only be able to work with you back in Montana and at Turkey Camp and meet you at the class, but to share that with you at Togiak it meant a lot to me because of filming, fishing, and all this. But to be able to go to a place like that, you can't
It's
really put
special.
many words on it.
No, no, you don't, and you don't know until you're here.
Yeah,
Don't.
yeah,
I swear
and
it's like the classes. I always say that about the classes. I wish I could shake the crystal ball and put people there on day two and then they'd understand. Same with the
yeah,
Togiak.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
and for you to take the effort, you and your brother and your family, to make people's dreams come true. I mean, it's just like us at, film the hunt. Like you're people come in with fire and you want their dreams to come true. So it's just
Yeah,
that passion that
Do it from the
it's
heart.
100%.
yeah,
You
it
do
has
Yeah,
to.
it.
yeah,
You guys do
yeah.
it from the heart. I mean, there's no two ways about it. Like you can't, there's only so much, you put that lodge in the hands of someone who does it for the dollar signs, the transactions, versus someone that does it from the heart. And it's a completely different place, completely different experience. Every single thing you guys do there is from the heart. Like I was trying to explain it. I'm like, imagine being at a five-star resort without being at a five-star resort. A very nice place. No, but like, well, no, and I don't mean that in a negative light. What I mean is like I couldn't even carry my own bags off the boat.
Yeah,
I couldn't,
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? Like I got my bag. No, it's going to be waiting in the room for me when I
yeah,
get there, and you're going to feed me while somebody's carrying my bag to my room. Like that's five-star resort stuff.
Hmm.
Which I mean, yes, you are a five-star resort on the Togiak. Like you are in comparison when it comes to the heart, the passion, the soul, and everything that goes on behind the scenes. I mean, you're, there's no two ways about it. It just is. It's a five-star experience
Hmm.
in all aspects. I mean, I'm sitting here looking at the scene of us having shore lunch.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like we're cooking salmon that we just caught along with some amazing steaks right on the shore looking at snow caps a mile from sea level. Like what? What
yeah,
the heck is going on? In the words of Susewitz, it is wild.
yeah.
Dude.
It's just wild. Which, by the way, Jordan, I listened to the podcast, and on the episode, oh my gosh, it's so fun. Just like 100 wilds. It's just wild. I'm gonna call it just wild Togiak. Uh,
Yeah.
but no, man, gosh, to just do a rewind to 10 years not knowing you, talking to your mom on a phone who was wanting to get you a couple of classes so you could go out there and maybe perform some production stuff on the Togiak. From it becoming actually, from let's take it back to it being a dream of you and your families on the couch on Sunday watching that show, to then you getting your brother getting that opportunity, to you then getting the opportunity to go with your dad, to then get the filming job there, to meeting us, to us being there 2 months ago. If you're listening to this, and you think, nah, not me. Well,
Hmm.
you don't care enough.
Hmm.
You aren't putting forth the effort enough. You don't have enough belief in yourself. You don't have enough belief in God or the path, the chosen path for yourself. Or better yet, to have a chosen path and then not take advantage of it. Because you could have said no to a lot of those situations,
Oh
Lars,
yeah.
and said, well, no, the
Hmm.
right thing to do is go to college and do this or that. You could have easily missed on everything that came about to you. I mean, it's amazing what one little decision can do or not do for you, for anyone.
Yeah.
Um, but it blows my mind as to the progression of where you've come and what you've done and how it's all come about. It's truly remarkable. And anybody listening to this, if you can't sense it, if you can't feel it, if you couldn't listen to the last 1 hour and know that, gosh, you can even have a plan
Yeah.
and that plan could change and turn
Yeah.
out to be one of the best things that's ever happened to you. Because even though you're not producing on a day-to-day basis, that may be your ultimate dream that you want to get back to one day. Would you say that you have a pretty damn good life right now?
I have the golden egg.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Right.
Golden egg is in my lap. Yeah. So once in
Exactly.
yeah. Yep.
I mean, you just do. Like you have what most people dream of as far as a life, right?
You
And I
put
mean,
it in different. You put it in different words, but yes, yeah, it's
well, right, right, that's right. Hey, and I watched that on the episode. Did I send that to you? Did I send that snippet to you? Oh, that's
you
Oh
funny.
did.
yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, people would. I mean, people would just. I mean, they'd give anything to be in your shoes. Now that being said, I watched your wife and your daughter, which, by the way, married now with a daughter, so awesome. And imagine all these things in life changed. But I watched them get off the boat. I know what it means for you to have, to miss them and to be away from them. So that's what I
Yeah.
mean. Some people may not even take advantage to some of these things because they're like, well, I can't sacrifice or do this or that. Well, you know what? Some of the best things in life, they come along with some heavy baggage, some heavy sacrifice, and
For sure.
it's part of it. You want to, you got to pay to play kind of thing. And man, you've done it all, dude. You've taken every sacrifice. You've fought. But I will say that you've never broken from who you are and what you want to do. And that being said, I compliment you on just going to Larry that third year or whatever and going, here's my job description. I'll do what you want me to do, but I'm also going to do what I need to do. And here you go. And thank you. That takes balls.
Yeah.
And you're a 19-year-old kid walking up saying, here's what I'm gonna do, sir. Who
Yeah.
who who 2 years, 3 years prior to that, you looked up to him like, here's this millionaire. Oh my God, he wants to get on my boat. Now you're like, I'm gonna tell him what's going on here,
Yeah. And I to clarify, I didn't do it disrespectfully or anything like
Of
that.
course you didn't. I know.
Totally.
Yes.
You
Clarity,
want
clarity for the viewers, because I know you. You did it with the utmost and utter respect.
yeah.
And I know that of you, and that's why it went from that to him wanting you to own the lodge as well. And
Yeah.
that's why he knows
Yeah.
he knows you have enough confidence at this point, but you have all the abilities between you and your brother. Um, and here you are, dude, making dreams come true for a lot of people. And I know it's a pretty big family business. You got a lot of family up there, and
Yeah. It's funny, and it's the last thing I'll say unless prompted otherwise, but I think it was 2018. Larry had a bad habit, and I'll call it that, and I hope he hears this, of waiting until night number 5 at dinner time to do introductions for all the staff. It's like,
mm,
I've already met everybody and they already know our names. But anyways, he would like go through guest to guest, say, "Hey, what's your name? Tell us about yourself," etc.
on night five.
Yeah, and typically most of the time the staff would like skedaddle out the, the back door like roaches, like scream.
Like,
And
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and like magically he'd look over to staff and have like one person over there, right? But this time he caught us, and so we're going person to person, and he gets to me and he wanted all of us to introduce ourselves, our title, where we're from, etc. And so I got to myself, introduced my name, and I jokingly stood up and said, "I'm the future lodge owner."
That's amazing. Yes, yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh my gosh.
That's so good.
Well, and look at where you are, man. That is nuts.
Yeah.
Susewitz, I mean, any further closing thoughts on this whole deal, man? It's crazy.
Thank you, Larson. Thank you to your family for that experience. Yeah, uh, it was truly remarkable, and I'm excited to for these episodes. I'm excited to have people see and hopefully feel what we felt.
Absolutely. Well, my pleasure, and just know it's not going to be the last trip.
I was gonna say, remember Susewitz? We didn't, because remember them. There was those clip, the time lapse. Remember that shot? We didn't get all. You remember
Yeah,
those?
we didn't get
Yeah.
all.
So
Yeah,
we'll just,
there's a
yeah,
couple of things.
those things that we didn't get. Yeah, we'll have to. Yeah, shit. I guess there's always next year. We'll have to go back and get it next year. Well, I hope you
Yeah.
guys like the episodes. I mean, if I send them to you and you want them all changed, well, you can go yourself. But just just kidding. Um, I hope you like them. I really do. I'm having fun cutting them, as difficult as they are. Been some emotion just in cutting them that's come out, in a good way, obviously. And so I'm excited. Just a reminder to everybody listening as we're wrapping this thing up. If you're listening to this podcast, the episodes are available as well on Carbon TV. You should find us right there, easy on the front page of Carbon. It's called The Graduates. For those of you that haven't watched the show yet, it is new. We launched it just in July of this year, 2025. And that's what it is. It's primarily based around success stories of these students. And I got to say that so far, Larson's going to take the cake with that, with those stories, and um, in ways that you've just heard a lot about. And I know we rambled, and if you stayed with us throughout these two parts, you obviously are a dedicated listener. We appreciate that, and you obviously have something in your mind telling you that I need to pursue this. And God, I can't sell. I mean, Larson is the perfect example as to why you should go for it and give it a shot for yourself, because you just never know where it can lead you. So,
Yeah. As blue collar
Hmm.
of a family as you could ever come from, no giant wealth box behind me. Just a lot of hard work and a lot of trust and a lot of love from a lot of different people, and that's what made it work.
yeah, well, it was the love you showed and gave that allowed for that love in return. So don't ever shortchange yourself. And I know you know that, but it wasn't, yeah, that's what was all that started it all. The love that you and your brother, the passion that you and your brother have for everything you do. So it shines. And I'll piggyback off Jordan and say thank you, to your mom, your dad, your brother, everybody for having us up there. Thank you for hosting my wife now and putting up with her for a month, and having her over there. I know she's having a good time. I actually heard her mouth in the background there a little bit ago, but uh, I uh, I hope everyone takes something away from this for yourself, and that you can at the very least know that you shouldn't cheat yourself out of anything. You should always give it a shot, because you just never know. And I'm going to end with this, because we have to do it, because I'd be cheating the Togiak if I don't. Larson, take us out of this whole podcast. Tell everybody at home, where can they? We've made this all about you, but what about them? What if they know somebody that wants to come fish with you on the Togiak? How can they get all that information? Where can they find it? And let's wrap it up with that.
Absolutely, yeah. So we have two distinct seasons, Spay, and then our gear and single hand season in July and September. We have two different websites. The first one is togiaklodge.com. Nice and simple. You'll find all the info on our different seasons, and then also a link to our Spay website, which is specifically for our Spay Chinook season, which is togiakspay.com. But between those two, the websites cover it all. We have an awesome social media presence on Facebook and Instagram, just Togiak River
Hmm.
Lodge. And if anyone wants to get a little taste of the flavor that we have to offer here, those two locations are the place to go.
Right on. And they can get in touch with you direct through email there as well, I would
Yep.
think, right? If they have questions.
Good contact form, my number, etc. And
Okay. All right. Awesome, man. Well, go there, visit. Even if you just go drool like Larson did, over 10 years ago, it's worth going and checking out what they offer. And lastly, be sure to check out the two episodes. That'll give you another flavor of what they offer out there, as among, their also your social medias and stuff too, right? Togiak River Lodge on social media. Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
Get on there, check it out. Give Jordan Larsen some love. And Susewitz, thank you for joining us on this. And to everybody listening, we love you. Thank you. And we'll chat again soon. Right on, boys. Right on.
Good work.
Yeah.
So much fun.
It
Isn't it?
is.
It
Yeah.
really is.